I'm Fox 4 meteorologist Andrew Shipley, and I want to loop you in on a line item in the recently passed budget by your state lawmakers. Now, the item gives the University of Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences $250,000 to study fertilizer bans. And you think maybe groups like the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation would support something like this, but let me tell you why they think it actually might put some of our key waterways at risk in Southwest Florida.
This was a surprise to all of us.
That surprise was tying UF's study of whether fertilizer bans even work with a one-year moratorium on governments changing existing bans or adding new ones. SCCF Environmental Policy Director Matt DePaulis calls this connection unfortunate.
And it's unfortunate they're doing it this way because I think IFAS should be studying the effects of fertilizer and the effects of fertilizer bans.
The reason this is such a hot topic is nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus in fertilizer can enter our local waterways and feed algae blooms like red tide and blue green, both of which are hazardous to our health and our Southwest Florida environment. Paul says this won't likely affect current seasonal bans, say Lee County. The moratorium could still impact areas upstream along the Caloosahatchee.
And there are countless counties and local municipal governments that all come into play in this greater watershed. And so if any of them were thinking about trying to enact some sort of rainy season ban for their fertilizers, they would be prevented from doing that.
Thus leaving our river that flows through the heart of Fort Myers and Cape Coral at greater risk. As for the fertilizer study this moratorium is connected to, U.S. Food and Ag scientists gave Fox 4 this statement. Quote, "We anticipate this effort will point to further needed studies to determine the relationship between nutrient losses and the use of fertilizer in urban areas," end quote. UF pointed out that even if they cannot enact their own fertilizer bans, all local governments will still be required to follow the state's rules for Florida-friendly fertilizer use, which they say protects surface and groundwaters. DePaulis is skeptical that the state rules are enough.
When you're in charge of the entire state of Florida, I don't think you're going to be able to come in with the scalpel necessary to make this patchwork of regulations that is effective right now at protecting our water quality. And I think what you're going to end up with instead is more of a sledgehammer.
SCCF and other groups are calling on Governor DeSantis to veto this line item before approving the budget. Now, meanwhile, if you live in Lee County, I'm told the usual seasonal fertilizer ban, that will go into effect June 1st no matter what. And certainly every little bit helps, but only 17 of 67 counties in Florida currently have those fertilizer bans, along with about 130 different cities. In studio, meteorologist Andrew Shipley, Fox 4.
Another